So I have a confession to make. I have not been meal prepping lately, and I have discovered when I don't meal prep at least some sides, some main dishes, some desserts or snacks, it is setting me up for a disastrous week. I think I just got out of the habit of meal prepping those things, and now it's hard to get back into it. I like convenience. When we're hungry, we want to eat right now. Instant gratification. I talk about it all the time. Nobody likes a hangry Kristi. So today, I'm getting serious. I'm gonna buckle down. I'm gonna go in that kitchen and I'm gonna meal prep some foods so that we have them throughout the week at a moment's notice, and I don't have to worry about cooking a big meal or slipping up. If this is your first time tuning in, hi, welcome. There's an entire playlist of meal prep videos. I'll link it. Go watch it if you need some ideas. Over here on my channel, I do talk about keto, low carb, weight loss, controlling my type 1 diabetes. So you're going to be able to find recipes, what I eat in a day, the occasional meal prep video, grocery hauls, all that kind of stuff, so that it's going to make your journey hopefully a lot easier. So subscribe and hit the notification bell so every single time I upload, you'll be alerted. I'm going to save the rest of the chat for the end of the video. Let's go ahead and get started. I feel like lately one of our main struggles has been lunch. So we have been trying different varieties of chicken salad. So let me show you the one that we've been eating on lately. These are just the large cans of all white chicken breast meat that I pick up at Sam's Club. You get a 6-pack. This one is the 12.5 ounce. I'm going to go ahead and drain this and put it in a bowl. I go ahead and take the fork and I like to break the chicken apart so that it's more shredded. But if you like a chunkier chicken salad, you don't have to do this. To that, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of mayo, a tablespoon of deli mustard, but I have ran out in the past and used just regular yellow mustard. Just depends on what you've got on hand. Don't go out and buy a special mustard for this. I've talked about my love of spicy foods and the fact that I pick these up every single time I go to Aldi. We are stocked up on these because they did run out of them for a while. These are the deli sliced. It says hot jalapenos, but they're not like mouth on fire kind of spicy. I'm gonna take only 1/8 cup of these. So just a small amount. I chop those up and I'm gonna add them to the chicken salad. They also have the banana pepper rings. So if you don't want something spicy, you can use the banana pepper rings instead of the jalapeno peppers if you want to. And when I use the banana pepper rings, I normally add more than 1/8 cup. So maybe it is more than just 1/8 cup. It's a little bit over that, but we love our jalapenos. I'm gonna add a sprinkling of Flavor God sriracha seasoning. If you just want to use the liquid or the condiment of sriracha that you keep in the refrigerator, you can. If you don't have either of those and you have some chili powder, sprinkle some of that in there. It's just going to give it a little bit of a kick. Now, before I do anything else, I'm just going to go ahead and give this a quick stir. Salt and pepper to taste. Just depends on how much you want. I'm definitely going to salt it, but I have a tendency to leave the pepper out. When Chris takes this out of the fridge and he's ready to eat it, he can pepper it himself. I'm just not a pepper fan. Absolutely perfect. Doesn't need anything else. I know it seems like a weird combo going on here. And when you first take a bite, it does have a little bit of a punch, like a spicy kick, but it goes away really quick. It's not something that lingers. Added the lid, now into the fridge. This is going to be about 2 or 3 servings, especially if we add it on top of a salad, like a bed of lettuce, or even use pork rinds. But we like to prepare our chicken salad in advance because I like mine cold. Now, if you like to prepare yours fresh and you don't want to meal prep it, but you still like it cold, go ahead and put your cans of chicken in the refrigerator and just leave them like that. So that way when you mix everything up, it's going to be already cold. You don't have to wait on it to be refrigerated. If you watched my Trader Joe's video last week, you may have seen me haul the Everything But the Bagel Nut Duo. It has almonds in it and it has cashews. Cashews, not my friend. They have a tendency to make my blood sugar spike. But almonds, pecans, and macadamia nuts don't. Now, I think with this recipe, you can use whichever nut combo you're happy with. I'm experimenting here. We're gonna see how this turns out. We're gonna make our own keto-friendly Everything But the Bagel Nut Trio, and I will be using the Trader Joe's seasoning for that. Again, this is an experiment. Let's see how it does. I've already preheated my oven at 325. I'm gonna melt 2.5 tablespoons of butter. If you've had the nut duo from Trader Joe's, you know, they're a little sticky. And so what I'm assuming is they've put something in there. I did not read the ingredients, and I should have, to make this seasoning stick. You could probably use a sugar-free maple syrup, but I'm gonna try using the brown sugar by Swerve. I'm gonna add in 1 tablespoon of that to my melted butter and then mix it until it's completely dissolved. There is this sweet and salty element to these nuts, so I am gonna add some pink salt. Just gonna mix that in. I've not measured it. I just grinded it a couple of times and added it to the swerving butter. I'm gonna add 1 cup of each of the nuts for a total of 3. I mixed them up really well until they were completely coated. I wanted to get them coated with that stickiness before adding my seasoning. I have 1 tablespoon of that here. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit on, mix it up, and then sprinkle some more. I don't want to just have this clump up. I want to try to get as much of these coated as possible. Truthfully, it looks like a tablespoon is going to be plenty enough. I added parchment paper to a large cooking sheet, and now I'm going to spread this out evenly into a single layer. Now I'm going to stick these in the oven. I have it set at 325. I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes, but I'm going to keep my eye on them. I have a feeling they may need to cook longer than that. The problem is I don't want to scorch or burn the seasoning. If this turns out, this could be dangerous. This is what they look like at the 8-minute mark. They smell amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and give these another toss so that they are going to cook evenly on all sides, and then put them back in the oven. Quick tip, when I gave these a flip, I lost some of the seasoning. It ended up on my spatula. So what I did was I just scraped it off and sprinkled it back on. Since 8 minutes worked so well the first time, that's when I'm gonna set my timer for this time. But of course, I'm gonna keep an eye on them. Second time in the oven, I left them in 11 minutes. I should have probably took them out at 10. So, baked at 8 minutes the first time, and then bake it 10 minutes after you toss. I'm gonna let these cool completely. I took them off the pan to do that so they wouldn't continue getting that heat. So I put them on a wire rack. Now that they've cooled completely, I went ahead and moved them over to a paper towel because I want them to dry. Remember, they have the brown sugar on them. So once they dry completely, air dry completely, you don't have to worry about as much of the seasoning falling off. It did make more than this. I just can't stop snacking on them. I am going to move them over to an airtight container and store them in that. These do not need to be stored in the refrigerator. And just so that we are perfectly clear, these turned out amazing. Granted, I did leave them in the oven a couple of minutes too long. Next time I won't, but this recipe was delicious. You've got to try it. Preston was here, my oldest, who is not doing keto, and he could not stop snacking on these. Time for an easy keto dessert recipe. I have an entire playlist of like 2 and 3 ingredient desserts, probably things that you have in your pantry right now. That way, when you need something sweet, it's going to be on hand. So all you need for this easy keto fudge is these 2 ingredients. I'm gonna go a little bougie and I'm gonna add some kosher salt to the top of my fudge. You will need a bag of Lily's chocolate. You can use whichever one you want. This is the 7-ounce bag. So today what I'm gonna be making is the salted caramel peanut butter fudge. But if you want to use white chocolate, you can. If you want to use milk chocolate or dark chocolate, go for it. But you need an entire 7-ounce package of whichever Lily's baking chips or Chalk Zero baking chips that you want. Just make sure they're like the no sugar added, the keto friendly version. And you're gonna need peanut butter. Whatever your favorite peanut butter of choice is. I normally pick up the Smucker's Natural. Today, I'm gonna be using the Crunchy because it's gonna be the last of this container. That way I can get rid of it. Take your 7-ounce bag of chips. We're gonna put it in a microwave safe dish into the microwave, 30 seconds. We're gonna take it out and stir it up and then put it back in for about another 15 seconds to 30 seconds until it's completely melted. But you do not want to leave these in too long because these chips have a tendency to scorch in the microwave. So here's what they look like after that first 30 seconds. But what you want to do is just go ahead, stir it around, and then put them back in for 20 more seconds. Stir. As you continue to stir, all of those chips melt. Now to add in the peanut butter. 1/2 cup of peanut butter. Mix that up until it is completely combined. Now we're going to transfer this over to our dish. The perfect size is this Pyrex. It's like a 7 by 5. But first, line that Pyrex dish with some parchment paper or otherwise. It's going to be a beast to get a piece of fudge out. Spread it out evenly, and then I like to put a towel under it and tap it so that some of the air bubbles come to the top. And if you're like me, you like salty and sweet mixed together, sprinkle some coarse salt over the top. Now I'm going to place this in the freezer until it sets up. Usually takes about 30 minutes. Then once it sets up, all you have to do is just pull the parchment paper out, pull the parchment paper away from the edges, and then take a sharp knife and slice this into bite-sized pieces. You can store it in the refrigerator or you can store it in the freezer, whatever works best for you. I like to store it in the freezer. That way I won't eat it as quickly. So I'll pull a couple of pieces out of the freezer when we want them and I'll let them sit on the countertop for a few minutes so that they soften up. But if they're in the refrigerator, I will have a tendency to pop 2 or 3 at a time. Even though it only takes 10 minutes to cook these in the air fryer, it's still the fact that it's 10 minutes plus the prep time. So it'd be about 15 to 20 minutes before we eat. So when I meal prep, all we gotta do is reheat and eat. And you know I love the convenience of all that. So today I'm gonna go ahead and meal prep all of these, thin cut, those are my favorite, pork chops in the air fryer. I'm going to be using the Flavor God seasoning, some salt because I salt everything, and some extra virgin olive oil. Went ahead and lined my air fryer basket with one of the liners. My air fryer and the liners are always linked below. I did recently upgrade to the new Cosori. It looks just like my old one. Chris is going to take the old one and use it when he travels out of town and he's on the road. But this one is the Smart Air Fryer. So it's hooked up to my smart home devices and an app on my phone so I can control it that way if I choose to. I'm gonna drizzle some of this over top. I feel like when I put oil on the pork chops, the seasoning clings to it better, plus I'm adding some extra fat. I just pick up the massive bottle of organic extra virgin olive oil up at Walmart, and it's a good price. This one's USDA organic. It's 25% 5.5 ounces. The salt that I'm using is the large grinder container that I pick up at Sam's, and I'm just going to sprinkle this over top now. I'm going to use 3 different types of the Flavor God seasonings. I'm going to use the everything, the sriracha, and the garlic glovers. Because there are several pork chops here, this will probably make 2 or 3 meals throughout the week, and I don't want them to be the exact same. So, in my mind, using different seasonings and flavors is going to make it taste a little different. Plus, I'll change up the sides. 360 for around 10 minutes, and I will flip these at the halfway point. Now that these are done, I'm going to give them a chance to cool off. I'll put the lid on them, store them in the refrigerator, and like I said, all we're going to have to do is reheat and eat. Lunch, dinner, breakfast, we'll have the meat ready, and we won't have to worry about a hangry Kristi. Let me also mention this really quickly for those of you that don't know. I adore Flavor God. They are not paying me for this video. It is not sponsored, but they did give me an affiliate discount link and code. It's going to be in the description box for you guys. So if you do want to order any of their seasonings, and these are massive containers, you can see that we use them regularly. So if you want to order them, check that description box. They always have a sale, and you can combine my discount code with that sale. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Any recipes, products, stuff that I mentioned during today's video, you know where it is. It's down in the description box, along with my other social media accounts, discount codes for some of your favorite keto items so that you can save money, my other YouTube channel. So if you're interested in something other than keto or low carb, go over there, subscribe, check out all of those. There's always lots going on down there. Now, before I head out, let me know. Do you guys meal prep? Have you slacked like I have? Do you need to get back on the meal prep bandwagon? Then come on, join me. We can do this together. Okay, I'll see you all in the next video. I hope you have an amazing day. Bye.